When did computer components get so crazy expensive? Nvidia's cheapest new offering starts at $300 US, and that's just for the graphics card. What are the rest of us supposed to do? Can we build a gaming PC that can play most games well for only $200? I think we can do it, but there are going to be some reservations to consider beforehand. But you shouldn't have any reservations about checking out the sponsor of this video, Anker. We've all been there. A tangle of cables, not enough ports, and a feeling that your laptop is always on life support. But what if one sleek device could genuinely simplify everything, declutter your space, and maybe even future-proof your workstation for years to come? Well, that's exactly what the Anker Prime Thunderbolt 5 docking station does, and why I've been so impressed with it. It's packed with a whopping 14 ports, giving you incredible versatility to plug in literally everything you need, from external drives to multiple monitors. And speaking of monitors, it boasts incredible 8K display support. But the real magic is the next-gen Thunderbolt 5 speed. We're talking lightning-fast data transfers for huge files, seamless connectivity, and no more waiting around. Whether you're a content creator pushing massive video files, or just someone who craves a super clean, incredibly powerful desk, this dock handles it all with ease. So if you're thinking about upgrading your setup and finally getting that clean, high-performance workspace you've always desired, check out the Anker Prime dock using the link in the video description, and thanks to Anker for sponsoring today's video. Now before we start this build, I need to get out some disclaimers. The price of everything listed in this video is in US dollars before taxes and located in the US. Prices will change depending on when you watch this video and what country you're located in. Sales prices always come and go, so please don't use this video as a one-to-one guide, but more like a jumping off point to get some big ideas for your next budget build. Now having said that, $200 is now, more than ever, a razor-thin budget to build a PC. We're going to be making some massive sacrifices to stay within that. We're not going to be playing in 4K, we're not getting ray tracing, and we're definitely not playing Club Penguin, although that is unrelated. But we will be able to play most games in 1080p. So temper your expectations and consider this PC something you can build to edge yourself with until you can afford something more modern in the future. But if you just want a rig that lets you get in Discord with the boys and play Fortnite or the occasional AAA title, then you should be good to go. Now at our low budget, there really is only one choice for a CPU and motherboard, and it's something I have started lovingly calling the AliExpress special, which is simply using older server CPUs put on these weird modern motherboards that allow NVMe drive expansion. They sell these by the pallet over on AliExpress in many different configurations. And while they are crazy cheap these days, you do kind of miss out on modern features like BIOS flashback, RGB headers, and let's just say the I/O on the back is sparse. But these boards are surprisingly reliable. I've built with about 10 of them so far, and I haven't heard anything negative from the recipients yet. Knock on wood. There are so many different configurations for this, but I just decided to pick this one. It comes with the motherboard, CPU, and RAM, all for only $55 US. So a really great bargain there. The CPU included is the Intel Xeon 2666V3, which is certainly a few years old at this point, but it's strong enough to get some lower end gaming done on a budget. Included in that processor is 10 cores and 20 threads, oh boy, and it can boost up to 3.5 GHz. And they're built on the X99 chipset, which means we get access to DDR4 RAM. So definitely not the latest and greatest, but it at least is from the last decade. Included in our package is only a single stick of memory, but it is 16 gigabytes, which should be enough capacity for us. Now this is a quad channel setup, meaning this machine would run better if we had 4 sticks of RAM as opposed to just 1. But we are going for max cheap on this build, so the 1 stick will get it done for now. But 4 sticks of lower end server RAM can be found on eBay for really cheap if you really wanted to upgrade it. The motherboard included is from some random overseas company called Zsus, but it does have everything we need to get a gaming PC going. And that includes a PCIe NVMe slot, which is a very nice touch that allows us to get access to super fast storage speeds. Outside of that, it's a total bare bones wasteland without any fancy features. And that includes a header to plug in any ARGB components, meaning if we want to power the lights on our fans, we need to pick up one of these SATA to RGB headers on AliExpress as well for like $2. But outside of that, it's just a motherboard. The bundle doesn't come with a cooler for the CPU, unfortunately. And since this is an X99 board, there actually aren't many modern CPU coolers that have mounting for this type of CPU. So unfortunately, going the route of the usual cheap SE214XT or Thermalright Assassin on Amazon is not really going to work here. So I just picked up a cheap one on AliExpress for a few bucks. It's kind of ugly, and the fan doesn't match our other fans, but hey, it's got a lot of charm, and I think it will cool our CPU effectively? Question mark? It's got 4 heat pipes after all, and I've used coolers with less, so I think we're gonna be okay. For the storage, you should buy as much storage as you can comfortably afford. 500 gigs is a great starting point, but a terabyte would be even better. Consider it an investment, since you can definitely migrate that drive into your next PC. But we are on a shoestring budget for this video, so I just picked up this 128 gig NVMe SSD from AliExpress for around $10. 128 gigs is not a lot of space, to be honest, especially when Windows takes up a good chunk of it. But this is a YouTube video after all, and if I go too far over budget, people will yell at me. So I'm going to use this drive, but I don't really think any of you should unless you're on as tight as a budget as me. And then we've got to get all of this in a case. If you wanted to save a lot of money here, you could always go to your local Facebook marketplace or whatever local selling platform your country uses and find people literally giving away free cases just to get them out of their homes, or alternatively selling them for like $5. You might be missing out on some accessories and they might be a bit dusty, but it's an easy way to save a lot of money. But I don't like building this into the budget on a video, as it's just not fair to people who don't have access to something like that. So what I usually do is just scour r/build-a-PC sales until some case manufacturer puts up a case at a really good discount. I've gotten tons and tons of really nice cases for like $30 or $40, and then just sat on it until I was ready. Not physically, of course. And that was the case for this case. This is the Elite 301 from Cooler Master. I got it on woot.com for only $35. The 301 is an MATX size chassis and comes with 3 ARGB fans pre-installed in the front. But bizarrely, they cheaped out and didn't add any exhaust fans. So I recommend moving one of these fans to the back to get at least one exhaust, or grabbing another random fan to put back there, which is what I'm gonna do. But other than that, this thing is looking pretty good. The metal is a little on the cheaper side, but it's surprisingly heavy for its size, and there's a good amount of room in the back for any cable management you want to do. The airflow looks pretty kino, as there is mesh all throughout the front, back, and bottom. Do $35 cases exist on Amazon when they aren't on sale? Well, for sure they do, and they all kind of suck. Seriously. So just keep an eye out online for good sales and pull the trigger when you see something at a good price. But for this build, the 301 is going to be perfect. The power supply is always a mixed bag in this kind of situation. You obviously want to save money, but you don't want to buy a power supply so cheap that it might end up committing Sudoku. So to try and keep the budget, I just picked up this 500 watt Thermaltake Smart from Amazon resale for $35. Now, I'm not going to say this is a good power supply, but I will say that in this price range between $30 and $40, this is the best of the bad, if that makes sense. It's widely available, it comes in at a good price, and I've been using them for a long time and I haven't had any issues yet. But if you do have the extra $15 in your budget, I really recommend going with something like the MSI A550BN. It's only $50, but it is substantially higher rated and just less likely to have any complications. But for today, for this video, we're sticking with the Thermaltake. And of course, we finally need to get a dedicated graphics card. With what's left of our cash, there really is only 2 realistic choices. Usually I would go with the tried and true RX 588 gig. It's a solid card for sure, but I'd say only grab it if you can pick one up for $50 or less. I've used it a lot in past videos, so I wanted to avoid it for this one. One of the only good alternatives in the same price range is the GTX 1060, a graphics card that is still in the top 10 most used cards on the Steam hardware charts, but it is starting to have some senior moments. This GPU only has 6 gigs of video memory, which might hold us back in some newer AAA titles, but realistically, the 1060 isn't powerful enough for it to matter too much. I actually really like this GPU despite its age. I think it's a fun card that punches way above its used price range. If you have some more money, a GTX 1070 or even 1080 would both work with this configuration without any more changes and would only cost you between $25 and $50 more, and they would perform substantially better. but that's a video for another day. And that's pretty much the build. Let's get this bad boy assembled, install Windows 11, the video card drivers, some games, and test out the performance. Then back here for a final wrap up where I probably tell you not to build this PC.
Send the charges!
Was that the performance you were expecting? Do you feel like you would be able to handle playing all of these games at those frame rates? Personally, if I only had $200 and I had no way of making money, or I just didn't want to spend more than around $200 under any circumstances, I think I would be fine playing on this, knowing full well that I'm making sacrifices. You obviously get what you pay for. You won't be increasing the resolution, you won't be using DLSS or ray tracing, and the performance will only get worse as time goes on. Every new AAA game that comes out makes these components more and more obsolete every day. So if you do end up building a PC like this, please go into it with the expectations to eventually replace it. Many of the components on here are used or super old, so they probably won't break on you in the next year or two, but they also probably won't last you the next 10 years. So maybe build a budget PC like this as an opportunity to get some experience building a PC for the first time and just to have a PC at all. Then use it while you save up for a more modern PC. But honestly, if you're not an Omega level gamer and you just want a PC to play Fortnite, Counter-Strike 2, and GTA RP with your friends while in a Discord call, then yeah, actually this PC might be perfect for you. Go for it. I'll have links to everything in the video description, as well as some alternatives in case anything gets sold out. Thanks to all the channel members for supporting the channel: Maddie HP, Gaming Nomad, and Mr. C&D. And be sure to click the join button below if you want your name shouted out at the end of every video. My name is Jason. Thanks for watching.